9/11. 9/11, my friends. Hiroshima, Pearl Harbor, Titan, January 6th. They're all tragedies. As a matter of fact, there was a candlelight vigil on the anniversary of January 6th. There should be a candlelight vigil a year from now. Okay, let me just do this. There should be a candlelight vigil a year from now commemorating the official day when this live stream has perished. Because I can't imagine doing a live stream on a channel that's dying more aggressively than the PigCake channel. But alas, we're here, we're queer, and we're ready to talk about some virginity, my friends. We're going to talk about some different topics here or there. Male magicians refers to a thing that I saw on Facebook that bothered me, but I guess we'll talk about that when the topic comes in. It's, of course, going to deal with magicians deciding to just ejaculate all over themselves just for the sake of, I don't know, just brownie points, karma, some sort of adulation, some sort of virtue. I don't know. But we're going to be talking about that. Also a bit on Star Wars. I saw something on Twitter that bothered me. Decks I just got. So this is a magic product that I just received. I was sent this as a, I guess, a commemorative thing or as an apology because Lloyd didn't meet up with me. So Lloyd Barnes, the maker of this particular product, did not meet up with me when he was here in Miami. He wasn't really in Miami. He was in Hollywood, which is about 45 minutes north, but still. It's a train ride away. And this was his consolation prize, so I guess we'll talk about that. Also, room. Why did I write room? I wrote room. That's kind of dumb. Maybe that's one of the topics or videos that I put up that I don't remember. But alas, I guess we'll get to that when we get to that. And, of course, an individual faking a video for fake online points. So welcome, my friends. I'm here. I came from a weekend of binge drinking. I was partaking in something that's here localized in South Florida, maybe Middle Florida, Orlando, called Halloween Horror Nights in Universal Studios. This is where once a year for about 2 months, they have a bunch of, I would say, IPs from Universal, and they, I don't know, have a bunch of people scaring haunted houses, all that. It's trash. It's a waste of time. The only part that I enjoyed was sneaking in a copious amount of liquor because I refuse to pay for the exorbitant fucking prices that they have for just a shot of whatever. Oh, you're going to have a little bit of this or a shot of this concoction based on this stupid movie for like $30. No, thank you. I did end up getting a beer, though, from Moe's Tavern in their Simpsons section, and it was probably the best beer I've ever had. So that was my experience there. Also, something about Orlando. The women there are unattractive. I know this is coming from me, a very short, almost, I don't want to say balding, but my hairline is definitely to the crack of my ass. But it says a lot, the fact that I'm saying this. The women are pretty atrocious. There's only one hot one for every 40 girls. And I was playing the Would You game as I was going through the lines for the haunted houses, the Would You Fuck Her game. And it was very barren. And I have very low standards. So for me to go, no, yes, it was pretty aggressive for me to have that many no's. And also considering that I had drank a lot by this point. So this was quite a tale. I've been to horror nights before, and I remember my memory being that there were way more attractive shawties there. But this year, I don't know what it was, but it was barren. It was dry. I didn't have anything to look at. And the houses were also pretty atrocious. So if that's something that you're considering for some odd reason, I'd vote no on it. It was pretty bad. All the houses, it's almost like they want to maximize the amount of money that comes in while minimizing the amount of effort they put. But then again, Orlando is also the home of Disney, which is the home of the Disney adult. If you're familiar with this particular concept, it's usually a very rotund couple that they partake in all the activities of Disney, which is just overpriced shit. You're paying to wait in lines, essentially. But it's been a while since the last time I went to Orlando, so might as well just clear my mind, get out of Miami for a bit. And no, instead I was treated to nothing but anger, just looking at the Disney adults. Luckily, I didn't go to Disney, but still, there's still enough of them in Universal Studios and whatever the other one was. I think Hollywood Studios or whatever the fuck it is. It was just a waste. Luckily, I was hammered for most of it. But if you ever are in Universal Studios and you decide to have a beer, I would suggest Most Tavern. For some odd reason, that $12 beer was probably the best beer I've ever had. I do think it was because I was dehydrated, though. So it might have been that. But that beer hit me hard. Manel says big booty Latinas, of which there were none. There were big booties, but not in a good way. A term coined from Anthony Cumia of Opie and Anthony fame is a flatso. A flatso is a fat girl with nothing. Usually you would expect a big girl to have at least supple, succulent breasts. Although I have been quoted as saying having a big breast because you're fat is like having a fast car because it's falling off of a cliff. It's irrelevant. It doesn't mean anything. So even if you're a rotund girl and you have big, luscious, big fat titties, it doesn't matter because it's a waist, because it's on a fat person. So there was a lot of flatso. So you didn't even have that in the line at Halloween Horror Nights. It was pretty atrocious, I gotta say. Damn, this is not Google. Yay says Ballon Liquor. Ballon Liquor. I'm gonna give you one of those for that, man. It's an awful username. That's coming from a guy called PigCake. How could Piggy say we're here, we're queer, and not be wearing his Ankh ring of questionable sexuality? Well, I am wearing my Ankh ring of questionable sexuality. It is a woman's ring, but it's the only one that I found, and it's probably my oldest ring. And then comes this one, the one that I received at Magi Fest when I went incognito. Nobody knew it was me, even though at that point I did have a little bit of a following. And this, which is a House Moving Castle ring, because I'm an F word. I'm an F word. You fill in what that word means or what you think that word means. But Halloween Horror Nights was a waste of time. And if you are going, I suggest not, because it's just expensive. I did go to Islands of Adventure, which was a good time. I went on Velocicoaster, that new roller coaster. It was pretty aggressive, although not as aggressive as Hagrid's roller coaster. He has one where you're on a motorcycle, and it's just probably the best one I've ever been on. So I do recommend that, but I do feel extra lame for saying that. Male magicians, does this mean Piggy is going to dance like Magic Mike? No, it means that I'm unfortunately going to look at Facebook. It means that I'm going to be looking at Facebook, which is not the best time. Also, another thing, when I went to Orlando, Cracker Barrel. We don't have in Miami. There's one in, I would say, near the Keys. There's another one, I think, in Broward, but that doesn't count. But Cracker Barrel is just the most homely white establishment. And by that, I mean the portions are massive. The servers are always kind. They have that little twang in their accent, which is always just great. And it's always cheap. I don't know why Denny's raised their fucking prices to like $17. You could probably get for a good meal for $17. It's not Denny's. The only reason you go to Denny's is because it's open. But their minimum stuff is like $20 now. Whereas you go to someone like Cracker Barrel and they fuck it up. They fuck it up for very cheap, $10, and you get a whole plate full of stuff. In college, I liked visiting the bar that was based on Eugene, Oregon. Well, it was obviously based off the show, so it's going to be very barren. It's Universal, so they're not really going to put a lot of effort. But they did have beer, which made me happy, and a very cold beer, which made me even happier, because that cold beer, I chugged it. I don't usually chug beer, but that one just hit me. Although I was partaking in a lot of this over the weekend, so I need to come back and get back on the workout tip, because I don't want to reward myself with more things that are bad for me when I haven't done any activity. Although I did work out yesterday, so I am deserving this. It's a fat girl mentality that you want to avoid. Just got back from Vegas. Me and my girlfriend went to see Shin Lim while we were there. It was bursting with virginity, but also very good. If you go to Vegas, I recommend everyone to watch Matt King. The show's very inexpensive. There's always space. It's very homely. And Matt King is an expert at what he does. Over every show, I've seen a couple when I went to Vegas. I believe Penn and Teller, which wasn't as good as I thought. Copperfield I didn't watch. There was a couple magic shows that I remember watching, but the one that stood out to me the most was Matt King. It was ridiculously good over anything. So that's the one that I would say. But I imagine Shin Lim is probably great just because Let's see here. Hi, PigCake. How's it going? You have a good time last night. What did I do last night? I don't remember what I did. I know I fixed up my bike. Oh, I went drinking to a friend's house. We're watching football. We watched the Dolphins win. I don't care about football, but I care about having drinks with the boys. So that's what I did. Hungry and Hungover is asking me about the clip shift. Wait till the end of the stream, and we'll talk about nitty-gritty moves in particular. But remind me at the end of the stream, and I guess I'll go over. But I suck at it. I'm shit. I just do it as a means of, I guess, fidgeting with my hands. But I guess I'll go over it. Put a pillow on your deck as a silencer. I don't know that. Oh, you're talking about clip shift. That deserves a... That deserves one of these. I saw Lance Burton in 07 when I was a kid, and he made a car float. It was pretty dope. I have to imagine also seeing him was pretty disgusting. Lance Burton, anytime, is always ridiculous. And again, he gets shit, but I think that he's one of those magicians that could wear the tailcoats, and it's not completely gay. And I say that in the middle school way. So get off my dick. So I guess let's go over the non-magic topics first, and then we'll go deep. We'll go deep dickin' into the magic topics. This is one that I saw that made me angry. This is going across. I know that this was probably maybe 2 weeks old, but this is what I meant by room. So this is a callback. But I haven't done a regular stream in a while. These have all been magic streams. This one's a little bit of a hybrid. I guess I should introduce the stream as I usually do. Whenever it comes to the PigCast, what I like to do is I like to talk about things that aren't magic related. However, I've come to find out that unfortunately, a magic channel likes, the audience of a magic channel likes to hear about magic tricks. So I'm having a couple streams a week, maybe 2 dedicated to magic, and I'm having the rest dedicated to regular stuff. Although this one is a hybrid. I'm mixing stuff. And this also has to do with magic, by the way, this particular topic, because I imagine this is what most magicians' rooms look like. Not yours, because you guys are based and red-pilled and black-pilled, and you watch a cool magician like me. So you're probably like me and a neat freak and clean when it comes to things, almost to the point where your friends think you might be a homosexual, which is not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing, especially in 2023. Let me do this.
This is the neighborhood, and you are not welcome.
I can't wait till we get to the end topic, which is the male magicians part. And inevitably, one of the people that's on Facebook is going to see me talking about that topic and see this whole introduction and immediately ignore the rest of the stream because I've already said the word gay and homosexual. So I can't wait for them to just ignore my points because I've made that as a joke. But then I urge you to clip this part because I'm predicting that you'd probably ignore this the rest of the stream just after I've made those comments. So I'm aware of how you think because you're a peon and you're easy to analyze. Anyways, let me give myself one of these for that. A little monologue. This right here got me annoyed. I thought this was a chick. It's a dude, right? A little faint, dainty mustache. And this is a person that's cleaning their room. Clean your room. You need to clean your room. That's my best Jordan Peterson. It was pretty bad. But here, what is happening here?
Cleaning my room as a Roblox streamer. Again. First, I went over what we have. We have a roach infestation.
So right off the bat, I have roaches, right? Unfortunately, I share the house. I share a room, rather, with the house next door. And living in Miami on the first floor, you're going to get some roaches. But I'm the Hitler of roaches. Anytime there's a roach, I destroy it and where it came from. I have houses all over the place, the little roach motels. And I make sure that they don't live. I clean. I try to avoid roaches at all times. So when they come, I try my best to destroy them. This is someone who's given up, clearly. There's a bunch of little roaches here. So as you can see, if there's like 2 roaches, you already have an infestation. So you're fucked at this point. And judging from the rest of the room, he's not doing anything to take care of that problem, as you're going to see.
I don't think it's caused by me. I think it's just they're really invasive.
I don't think it's caused by me. This is the state of 2023 and Generation Z. It's not caused by me. It's not my fault. Meanwhile, if you take a look at this and the next frame while he's still talking about the previous frame.
I don't think it's caused by me. I think it's just they're really invasive. We've got some bowls we have to clean up.
He has minimum I would say 5 plates of stale, dry, hard food, 6 plates. So he has here macaroni. I thought this was maybe collard greens or some sort of asparagus. There would be no way this man's eating vegetables. This, which looks like a leftover fucking beefaroni. You have hot Takis. This guy's bowel movements must be the Holocaust. We have the hot dog. So this plate is the next frame. And he goes, this isn't my fault. I want you to look at the condition of the stale bread in this hot dog. You know that is going to crack. If you grab that, it's not soft, it's going to crack because it's been there for a while. So he said here.
Infestation. I don't think it's caused by me. I think it's just they're really invasive. We've got some bowls we have to clean up.
I don't think it's caused by me. And you show the next clip, which is stale food in your room. In your room.
Found this hot dog. July 4th. All right, we clean up this chair. Get some of these.
I fucking hate these transitions, by the way. I just have to state. There's always one that I see on TikTok where the guys are talking about like different suits that you have to have. And it's Steve Harvey. And they snap. And every time they snap, the suit changes color. And it's always the same lame type. Be original when it comes to your content. Please try to make it your own and try something else other than just fucking copying what you see online. Ill. So in this case, you have the snap transition where you snap and then you try to do it. But it still looks like shit. He doesn't chop up the frames correctly. And it looks just as dirty. It looks just as dirty. The only thing he did was he cleaned, I guess, the Taco Bell quesadilla wrapper here and a bunch of water bottles, which is astonishing that this fucking fuck drinks water. Look
July 4th.
at the state of the chair. This is cheap leather. I think this seems to be some sort of, I thought this was tape. It seems to be part of the design. This is what happens to cheap leather with friction. So this guy doesn't leave his chair. He doesn't get up, clearly, because this only happens when you're sitting on it and you're not standing up. You're just there. You're living in this. So for sure, this guy is just never standing up from his gamer chair. His Roblox gamer chair. Ew.
All right, we clean up this chair. Get some of these bowls down. That's a little.
So what is this? SpaghettiOs? Look at this. It's dry. The spoon is stuck to the fucking SpaghettiOs.
Crust on. Might need to soak it in some hot.
No. All right. So look at the rest of the condition of where this guy is. So obviously we have the water bottles, and I was astonished that this guy drinks water. Look at the Coke cans and the bottle and the mac and cheese and the, what is this? There's a Starbucks.
Water first. We have some frappuccinos. Looks like something tried growing in here.
A mold colony.
Watch.
Another mold colony in his hot chocolate.
Not on my watch. Now we got some snack trays. Got to clean these up. Don't want my dog to eat them. I think you already did. Some of it's missing.
Look at that. Another fucking roach.
Little baby roach trying to get away. Sorry.
And he has a girlfriend. So this guy's fucking. She looks probably 3 times his age. They're kissing there. I don't even know what to think about this.
Sorry, honey. Didn't mean to leave that down there.
Or the Starbucks, or a consumer. Just somebody that's endlessly consuming product.
All right, well, that's about it. The room's pretty clean now. We've made a lot of good progress. So we're just going to finish up another day. I'm pretty exhausted, so stay tuned.
I don't know if this is a parody. I don't know if this is fake. So he says, oh, look, the room's a lot better than it is, as he pans through the room, and it looks disgusting, almost like before. There's no way that this is a real fucking video. And let's just take a look at the comment section of this. I'm on Chrome now just because I wanted to see all the comments. That's actually nasty. How do people live like this? I think I discovered why he's got a roach problem. Bro, I thought he did nothing. It looked cleaner with the garbage on it. I don't fucking get it. The fact that people live like that, I'm scared for humanity. Not today, but let's watch Monday Night Football Flannies one of these Mondays. Why not today? Not today. That's lame. You're going to tease me with a good time? So let's look at this over here. See the comments. Stefan, what's up, dog? In the car on the way to the airport. Caramel tried to kill me today. I met up with Stefan in my time over there, and I'm kind of upset at myself, number one. I'm upset at Caramel for having an emergency, and I just, it's lame. I wanted to hang out more, but I just felt like shit. It might have been the drinking that caught up to me, but I took a nap, and then I woke up still feeling like shit. But seeing that you enjoyed your Orlando adventure, Stefan, and having Cokes with me, we went to the Coke store and had a tray of Coke, which was pretty atrocious. Very expensive, too, by the way. About $30 for some shots of Coke products from around the world. One of them that tasted like Windex, which Stefan drank. Iker says that's satire. No, I don't think that's satire, because that means that the person would have had to wait for those things to dry and use them as props. There's no way. The condition of that food is that of a person that's actually had those dishes. So there's no way. Maybe it's humorous, or he thinks it's humorous. I'm going to shoot up a school. What is this? My fucking goodness. The amount of messages that I'm getting. Your boy's popular. Let's see. This one, more roaches in that room than female numbers in his phone. Well, he clearly got laid, so he's doing it right. Iker says, hi, PigCake. I had a good time ejaculating to your old videos. That's weird, I guess. I'm going to give you one of these for that.
You know, we're living in a society.
I guess we live in a society. I guess that might fit. Petrification. The spoon and the bowl are one. See, that's what I mean. It's definitely not a parody, because if it's a parody, it's like me sucking a dick and going, ha ha, you're gay. Like, no, you sucked a dick, man. Like, you know? So now you're part of it. You're in that community. Those roaches aren't satire. You want The Last of Us? This is how you get The Last of Us. That's topical, considering one of the houses in Halloween Horror Nights was The Last of Us when I went. There's some dead cats in there. I believe that. Seriously, who's the incel? Says Iker, if I'm the one taking that video seriously. I don't know. I'm inclined to believe that that's, if it's a parody done by a guy who actually lives that lifestyle. And if he's not doing it, he's definitely acting pretty well for it. I think Piggy's jealous because that guy has a chair to sit on. You're right. If I could pan here, I have a philosophy when it comes to chairs. I don't want to stand up and get it, but I use uncomfortable chairs on purpose. If I'm going to sit in front of my computer, I don't want to be comfortable. Where's this? I hope that this is up. Okay. I don't want to be comfortable if I'm sitting in a chair in front of the computer. Because if I'm comfortable, then that means that I'm going to be more inclined to do shenanigans. And I'm more inclined to, I don't know, watch shit and play games or do whatever. But if I'm uncomfortable, I want to do stuff in there. And then I want to get up and out. And I want to leave. And I want to do stuff. So if I'm just there sitting on a comfortable gamer chair, I'm going to want to fold in my chair. So I use an IKEA chair, a very uncomfortable IKEA chair, and a stool. And that's what I sit on when I'm editing and working, if you want to call it that. But that's another thing. There's just overindulgence of product that's pervasive in Gen Z, where they just consume and buy Funko Pops and then play games for hours on end without any attempt to help yourself or prolong your life. It's kind of disgusting. But alas, that's just me being an old man yelling at the cloud, which is, funny enough, one of the chapters in my brand new book that's coming out now called The Art of the Squeal, which has been complete. I finished it today. I'm going to go through and see the book itself, go run through it just to make sure that everything is good. But, however, if you want my latest book, which is the one that is out to view from down here, you could find that in the link in the description section below. Everyone that's gotten it has told me that they've enjoyed the ideas therein, and it's a good reflection of my style of writing, which is non-serious. Too many magic books. It's just serious. I saw one, I don't want to name names, but I saw a humorous book that somebody just recently came out with. Harrison Greenbaum, I'm going to say it. I saw the introduction on Facebook. All the people are praising it, saying, oh my God, this is so funny. Because in the first paragraph, he's going, oh yeah, this is my attempt to make a version of Tarbell. However, I'm not going to be in blackface. And I'm not going to be making whatever references that he did. Even though it was like 1940 or 30. So I don't know. I read that and it was as funny as an abortion. At least that particular part. Again, I could understand people not enjoying my type of humor, but that was what you're getting at. Oh boy, is that aggressive. But it sells. I saw a bunch of people saying, oh, I bought it. So it works, clearly. But if I recall correctly, that was the same individual that was in the famous roast of Magic in 2021. I think sponsored by Vanishing Ink. I was looking for the video everywhere, but they privatized it. And I only saw the video through my live stream. So I watched a live stream called, I believe it was called Magic Roast. And I watched the entire live stream in that live stream and just had douche chills throughout the entirety of the procedure. He had like a PowerPoint presentation going over things. I don't know. But it seems to me that magic humor is pretty aggressive, especially what people think is edgy, because people think that that type of humor is edgy. Like looking through it, and it's the most milquetoast, just run-of-the-mill pretend edge. I'm like, I don't want that. I want legitimately edgy. I want people sending emails to potential employers, magic companies, going, hey, is this really what represents your company? That's edge. Not, oh, I'm going to shit on Tar Bell. A guy who's was in the 40s, in the 30s. I'm going to shit on him for potentially things that could be seen today as racist or whatever. Yeah, you're really virtuous, buddy. Really hitting on all the hot topics. Oh, God, that was so lame. So I guess, yeah, I didn't want to name names, but I guess I had to. There's ecosystem in that man's room. He's saving the bacterial population. I'm sure things could be studied scientifically in that dude's room. Iker, compare him to Leonard from Big Bang Theory. I would ban you for that. I would ban you for that. But unfortunately, what happens when I ban you is that YouTube assumes that now I'm banning you forever. So if I time you out, it's the lamest thing. But if I time you out, it times you out and then it bans you from commenting, which sucks. Because I don't want that. I want to do it as a bit. But YouTube doesn't seem to take jokes too seriously. So sorry, by the way, just a quick aside here. I've discovered this recently. Captain Morgan original spiced rum. This bottle, the white bottle, made with vanilla. This is my favorite rum of all time. It's $16 for this bottle. It's nothing for this bottle. And this rum, I could drink straight. Now, I won't, but just a quick review. It's phenomenal. Look for the one that says made with Madagascar vanilla, and it's gonna blow your socks away. I like sweet, but also what's good about this one in particular is that it's 86 calories a serving, which is absurdly low, considering it is liquor. So that kind of blew my mind. No, I didn't discover this recently. I've always been a Captain Morgan guy. I'm always a rum and Coke dude or a whiskey Coke guy at the bar. But and I love spiced rum. However, this bottle, this type of bottle with vanilla, it's different than the original one. And it's, if they ever take this out, I'm done. I'm probably ending it right there. So you could talk about me in a Netflix documentary. Yeah, I remember the time when PigCake said that he was suicidal on the live stream. He said that if they ever remove rum, Captain Morgan rum with vanilla, he's going to off himself. And he did it. We didn't think that he was going to do it, but he did it. Too many magicians are taking their comedy cues from too many modern-styled comedians. I agree. I think that's what it is. Kind of rough, especially as an edgy magician, to see what people think as edge. Speaking of, this also got me upset. This is a post in regards to Ashoka, which is a show that I believe is out now. It's one of these Netflix Star Wars shows. And it's pretty obviously one of these, just cash grabs. The Force will no longer be required to be a Jedi. Will Rey accept non-Force sensitive students? And the point here being Ashoka emphasizes that dedication and training are more important than talent, suggesting non-Force sensitive students could be accepted into Rey's new Jedi Order. Let me just make a little service announcement here. That's not real. It's not real. Star Wars isn't real. Fiction doesn't exist, right? It's not a real thing. So when you postulate as to potential things within a fictional universe, you are retarded because it's not an actual thing. It doesn't exist. You're mentally masturbating. So I've mentioned this before in a live stream where people were saying, Toy Story, if you think this theory about Toy Story is going to blow your mind, wait till you hear about this particular concept. And you go, no, that's not a real thing because it's not real. It's not real. It's not, Toy Story isn't real. Fuck. So same thing with that. The Force will no longer be required to, the Force is not a thing. Why am I looking at this? Why is this presented as if this is news when it's not a real thing? The Force is not required. Am I the only one here? I'm sorry. I just saw that, and I wanted to just blow a load of AIDS on that, just because. See, those are the types of edgy jokes that you wouldn't see in an edgy magic book in 2023. Nobody would ever say blow an AIDS load on something. They'll go, oh, I'm gonna dunk on Tarbell. I might just look up that particular thing now. As a matter of fact, let me search it here in the background while I'm talking. I'm going to go to Facebook. I guess this is a Facebook heavy episode, but just because it bothered me as an edgy magician that this is considered edge. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to look up Tarbell. It's Tarbell with 2 L's. Of course, I misspelled it like an absolute troglodyte. Tarbell. I'm going to assume it's 2 L's. Most recent. Let's see. Fuck. This might be hard to find, to be honest. Oh, right here. Okay, thankfully I found the post. Oh, that was actually quicker than I thought. But I guess we'll get to that in a little bit after the magic, or after the regular topics. I don't know which is the next regular topic. I guess this one, which is a dog one. And then we're going to get into decks. Even though decks, I don't really have much to say. I guess this, I just got it today. So this is Decks by Lord Barnes. I actually have the gimmick set up right over here. I don't want to show it to you, but it's behind. You could obviously guess that it's an index. So a couple things on decks. It's an index system, right? So what that means is that this goes in your pocket. I don't want to take it out because I realize they haven't shown it. But it goes in your pocket. They can name a card, and you could have your hand in your pocket and quickly find a card. Now, I've practiced with it for a little bit ever since I got it today, and I haven't gotten it down pat. But I could see that if you have a little bit of practice with this, that it's going to work well. Now, the material is not leather. It's like vinyl. That's sort of vinyl plastic. But I do think that it's something that might last. Repeated use. It's very tight fitting, I think, on purpose. There's some features to it that I think go really well. But it fits an entire deck. And the fact that I put that in my pants, let me see if I could fit it here. I'm wearing very tight sweatpants, and it fits there. It is pretty decent in the sense of pocket management as far as fitting an entire deck in your pocket that's ready to access at any point. So I'm going through the tutorial now. Let me make sure you can't fucking see it here so I don't get bitched at by Murphy's. Even though I'm upset. I'm upset because I was supposed to be in this project. I was supposed to be in this. I was supposed to meet up with Lloyd, and he sent this to me as a consolation, as a means of saying, hey, man, hey, Piggy, I'm sorry. I didn't text you back. So then I got Dex, which isn't a good substitute for Lloyd Barnes and his jolly self, which is kind of lame. But at least I got the product. But I'm going through the videos now, and I think that if you're looking for an index, it doesn't get much better than this. I'm not a fan of indices, to be honest. I'm not a fan, typically, because I think you could probably find easier alternatives. Why not just name a card? Okay, let me take out the jokers, and you're good to go. I don't know if I showed it by accident. But there's alternatives that I prefer over an index system. But if you want a way of being able to find a card in your pocket and remove it, this is the best way to do it, I think, especially with an entire deck. Now, you don't have the aces. But as far as how they talked about me on the live stream, what'd they say, Tony? Was it good? I hope it was, unless they were saying, oh, wow, Piggy. Yeah, fuck that little midget. He wasn't even worth my time to meet up with him, even though he was 40 minutes away. Fuck. But as far as the actual device itself, there's a lot of little things that I would never have thought of, like angled things, little bit steps that I would have never thought of with it. There's little flaps that let you indicate which part is which, but you could do it pretty well. I mean, it's not hard to get. I think if I have it here, let me see if I put it. Yeah, it's not too bad when it comes to trying to figure out different parts of it and which card is which. It fits an entire deck. So if you are a fan of getting an index, I can't imagine it being better than that. And it's in one pocket. Typically, indexes, you have the red and blacks segregated, like seems to be here in 2023. But here it's together. It's in one pocket. So everything is in one pocket, which some people, I think, were bitching about, that it's big in one pocket. But I think it's better that way. especially for pocket management, because it's just one pocket, and now you have an entire deck there of any card that you could produce at any time. And they have a bunch of ideas, little card appearances. So I like it. I think it's very cool in terms of an index. I'm not a fan of indexes, but if I were to use one, this would definitely be it. I can't imagine what else I would use. I know that there's a couple other ones that I've seen that are a little bit more obnoxious and complicated. This is what it is, and you could do it. So it's not too bad. So that's my bit on decks. My main takeaway is that I'm upset that I didn't meet up with them. Now, it was a little bit my fault. I could have been progressive and then gone to Fort Lauderdale or Hollywood to meet up with them. But I also didn't get a text back. I didn't get a text back. So I'm upset. But I do accept decks as a consolation prize. We need the Gifted Nurse Unbiased Reviews to review it and tell you it uses an index, so it's not real magic. Okay, is Unbiased a nurse or is he a doctor? I've heard that he's an ER doctor. I've also heard that he's a nurse. I've called him a nurse before, which is an insult because I know a lot of nurses and they're the worst people on the planet. However, I've also been told that he's an ER doctor, which is pretty based. An ER doctor is probably the hardest thing to do, I say, in a hospital as a layperson, because you're dealing with these new issues that are coming in your entire shift. You don't know what the next person is going to be. You don't know how you potentially could deal with that problem. You could say a surgeon is hard, but a surgeon prepares and, has time to prepare for the surgery. A guy might have to do surgery on the emergency. So that is pretty aggressive if he is an ER doctor. I would say that that's pretty based. But if he's a male nurse, I mean,
This is the neighborhood, and you are not welcome.
edgy. That's edge. So this, I guess quickly, and then we'll get into the magic topics. This, I saw it. I don't believe it. It's BS. This is a guy that finds his dog. Let me just quickly transition here. There's a guy that finds his dog. I can't play the music because it's copyright shit. So he's digging a hole. He lost his dachshund, however you pronounce that. And he's digging a hole randomly in a place. Our dad didn't give up looking. A 2-day search. So the dog's been missing for 2 days. They make a hole, drain cameras, and hearing equipment helped us find this dog. That's the cleanest dog I've ever seen in my entire life. So this dude was missing for 2 days in a dirt hole or in the ground, and he comes up cleaner than any dog I've ever seen in my life? No, bullshit. You made a hole and you put the dog there and then you pretended to find him. I don't fucking believe that. I think some of the comments here, I don't know if they're deleting the other ones. How did he end up there? He was alive after 2 days. That's insane. How did he manage to get underground? Why was he completely clean? Right? So these comments are above me, by the way. I don't know if you could see it. Dachshunds were bred to go into burrows like that, so their fur is really well suited. I don't fucking believe you. I don't believe that. So a bunch of people are going back and forth in the comments. I don't fucking believe it. I think that was a fake video for clout, and you are a liar, and not even a good one. So that's just something I wanted to cover there. And I guess let's get into the bulk. Let's start the show, as my favorite podcast likes to say, even though I can't mention my favorite podcast for fear of having more compilations made of me. Do you know who Sam Hyde is? Do you know who Sam Hyde is? An actual DM sent from one of these accounts to a friend of mine. What? Ill. All right. Hi, gays. Typo or Freudian slip? Well, this is the
neighborhood, and you are not welcome.
This is what I was mentioning earlier in the stream about this particular book. Just read the cover flap and can already tell this is going to be one of the greatest books on magic ever written. Harrison Greenbaum. I have laughed at a couple of his bits. I got to say, I do think that he's a funny guy, but just... So here he's talking about, while you are doing this, you're currently holding, You Are All Terrible, the book. It might not be an actual volume of Tarbell's Course in Magic, but it does have the distinct advantage of having not been written by a magician who spent much of his career in blackface and who was the illustrator of books like Denison's Makeup Guide for the Amateur and Professional, a guide that not only provided explanations for how to apply blackface, but also had other makeups like Ghetto Jew. And he goes over that. So I guess the point being is Hitler bad. This guy wrote a book and Hitler bad, and I'm going to call Hitler bad because I'm better than Hitler. Yeah, all right, I get it. It's not really much to say, such a virtuous thing to make a joke about Tarbell. And then this guy is also the worst comment I've ever seen. Anyone who's willing to stick it to Tarbell in the second paragraph of a book, whose graphic design is specifically meant to mimic his classic series, is ready to go the distance, and so am I. Oh, damn. Here he is dunking on Chris Angel. What? What is this? What am I looking at? This is Edge? This is Edge? You dunking on a guy from the 20s for doing blackface? Justin Trudeau did blackface. Sir Silverman did blackface. What? All right. Is the book actually any good? It's brilliant. I laughed out loud several times in the first pages. Is it best? So it's a bunch of people just saying this. Snide attacks on someone purely because he was a man of his time. Don't make me eager to buy Harrison Greenbaum's book. So this guy goes, yeah, you're going snide attacks on a guy who was just around in his time. I'm sure you would have probably thought the same exact thing if you were around in that time period. And then, of course, we have people going back and forth on this as if it's a big issue. We have a paragraph about that, which is just hysterical considering it's just a virgin topic. So I don't know. But if this is the state of Edge in 2023, I'm pretty dumbfounded. Now, again, this I remember specifically from watching them roast magicians. So I guess I might as well pull that up, seeing that that's something that I brought up. I'm going to look up Magic Roast, Pig Cake, just because I remember seeing that and just... You could see me. This is going to be Inception because it's going to be me watching me. So this, let me see if I could lower the quality of the video because it's on 720p and I don't want my computer to blow up. So I'm going to put it on 240p real quick. I hope my mic, did my mic die? No, my mic didn't die. Thank fucking God. Please spam the chat if my shit dies. But the roast, which I was already talking about this a while ago, it's... Oh, boy. Look at the Inception, by the way. Let's just smoothly transition here. Look at the Inception. So watching a live stream where they roast magicians and they roast 2021. And it's the most milquetoast.
Thank you. Yes, that's our virtual audience, by the way. We can put.
I'm going to dunk on Chris Angel. I'm just going to just make... dated jokes for the time, which is bad. It's not going to load, whatever. But you could find that on your own time. He puts a disclaimer on a roast. A disclaimer on a roast. Yeah, that's really what's going to set the roast on fire. No, you could definitely hear me. Fuck off. Damn, the original Tarbell sounds hilarious. Ironically, Harrison's main joke in his originality lecture is the same one as a famous comedy special. What is it? The sad part is that the fake videos get more views since the people who comment it's fake boost the video in the algo. True. I think you're referring to the dog video. The dog has plenty of time to lick himself clean. He must have the shiniest balls around. Bad audio. Is it really bad audio? Don't say that. Don't fucking say that. Don't tell me that. I hope not. Let me hear myself here. I have heard people tell me that the... sometimes, for some odd reason, it cuts. Lick himself clean. He must have the shiniest balls around. No, look at that. I hear myself. Bad audio? Is it really bad audio? Don't say that. No, you fuck. Sounds perfect, cunt. Okay, so the point being of me bringing that up was, I guess, that it was just another thing that I saw on Facebook that bothered me. But this is the one that I wanted to talk about, which was the topic of today's episode. Now, this is the genesis of the post, right? This was the actual post itself, which is one by Sean Farquhar, who's one of my favorite magicians of all time. And he posted this hat, right, male magician. And he posted this. And then on Magicians Only, this was subsequently shared on Magicians Only. Now, I don't know if I could actually click on the shares and see if I could see the original post. But that has been deleted on Magicians Only. Somebody wrote here, any reason why someone is messing with me in the group? Every single comment removed no matter what on Sean Farquhar's post. And he made a post talking about it or mentioning it. And all the comments have subsequently been deleted, which is lame because that's the point of this video. I wanted to talk about that particular post. But here, Sean McCree, who's the admin, talks about him not doing anything. So the post is apparently deleted by Facebook and not actually the admin, which I don't know. But alas, that's the story they're going with as far as the responses. Now, the whole point of this, if you can't imagine, is that, female magicians tend to be called female magicians as opposed to magicians. So the issue here, obviously, she's making a point saying, all right, so I'm going to get a hat saying male magician, because if female magicians have to be labeled, why not male magicians be labeled? So that's the point that she's making. Now, a lot of the comments here, if we could zoom in. Slay, thanks for the share. I always assumed the hat was the fedora, whatever, making jokes about it. Now, this one was very positive. As a matter of fact, a lot of the comments in the other one were mixed. This one seems to be very positive in a sense of the point. Let's see here. Every time I see more than like 2 replies, I know that it's going to be a flame war. Talented male magician turns himself into a young woman. So they explain what the point is, as I just did. But you guys don't get it because you're just a male magician. You can't possibly understand the experience of a woman trying to come up in this industry. And we wouldn't expect you because it would be impossible. Again, though I reiterate, why does anyone care if a woman, if a woman cares to refer to her as safe as a female? I don't know what the fuck she means by that. A lot of us are proud of our gender in a male-dominated industry. A lot of us have experienced a rough road to magic, including having no one of our own sex to talk to in our own town's IBM. So she's making a point there. Some other people are going back and forth, but the original one, I think, was the one that had more bulk to it, more gunk. And it also had a bunch of examples that are unfortunately deleted. Let me see if the video here might show them, because that might be good. So this guy goes through the comments. I guess he's writing a comment on that post, which had 148 comments. And it shows that, I guess, it's deleted or it's not really working. I wish that it worked because it would be a lot better to show you the comments on that one. But they posted a lot of examples in regards to... female magicians, saying, oh, look at this. Caroline Raven, female magician. Here's another female magician. And I don't think anybody was talking about the point that those were on their own websites. So the Caroline Raven one was Caroline Raven referring to herself as a female magician. And the other poster was another magician that was referring to herself as a female magician on her own website. So the people that are doing that are female magicians. Now, the reason that they call a female magician is because there are so few female magicians. So the fact that they're female stands out to the point where female magicians use that as a marketing tool. So I guess the point here is that, oh, whoa, it's disgusting that they're referring to themselves as female magicians, but they're the ones that are referring to themselves as female magicians. So it's a moot point. It's a point that's irrelevant because you're the one that's using that. And as a matter of fact, I would argue a lot of female magicians use that to their advantage because you could be otherwise a mediocre female magician, but you're a female magician and immediately you're shot to the stratosphere. I've seen that in a bunch of cases. So what's the point here that you're making? It doesn't seem to be anything relevant. It just seems to be another one of these signals, as people like to call them, virtue signals, just saying, oh, we should have. And there's nothing wrong with a female magician. There's nothing wrong with a female magician calling herself a magician. But if the whole point here was to dunk on magicians referring to them as female magicians, how about it starts with themselves first? Why don't you go on your website, remove the part that says female, and just go Caroline Raven Magician? Or whatever, I forgot the other name of the magician that was in question here. Just call yourself a magician. There's nothing stopping you. The only person stopping you is you. So the whole point here is dumb and irrelevant. And I remember seeing that and seeing this sort of point and seeing all the back and forth. And obviously you have a lot of men kind of going, no, and doing this. But you got to call a spade a spade. And unfortunately, I do think that a lot of female magicians tend to... get away with being sort of subpar. Same like male magicians, but male magicians, if you're subpar, you just fade away into the pool of magicians. You just fade away into the existence that is magicians. Whereas female magicians, because there's so few, when there's a female magician, they tend to stand out. So there's a little bit more scrutiny on them. There's nothing to say that that's a bad thing. As a matter of fact, you could use that, as female magicians have used, to market yourself. So I don't get the argument here. The argument here is pointless. Let's see. Oh, that's funny. Harrison Greenbaum makes an appearance here. Somebody mentions, eloquently explains this in his new book. For those of you scratching your heads, it's time we stop calling them female magicians and definitely stop being creepy. Well, they call themselves female magicians. So again, I don't think that that's much of a point that you're making when the magicians that are...
You could stop at 5 or 6 stores, or just one.
Calling themselves female magicians are female magicians. Magic Buzz comes in with a hot Canadian dollars. I'm starting to think that $13.99 means something. It's some sort of code. But again, dropping some hot bucks without a comment. Without a comment. I wish you would drop some an actual comment there, as opposed to what do you call this? Not because I just see Evan Era pop up, as opposed to, maybe I should change that to your picture coming up. But I appreciate that. Thank you. That's going to go into the PigCake porn fund. So your hot dollars are going to go to good use. Male magician is an oxymoron. It's just called a magician. Anything is called a magician. A female magician is still a magician. They're the ones that decide, in part, to refer to themselves as female magician. I've seen that way too many times. Anna de Guzman. I've seen a couple on Instagram that you look at their posts and their bios, and it's female magician. And, well, you're marketing yourself as a female magician. So what's the point? The point here that you're making is that you yourself are calling yourself a female magician. So I don't get it. Let's see. I've seen some mediocre female magicians who get bumped in the stratosphere in a bunch of cases. PC doesn't want to ditch his chances with Anna D. Oh, boy. I don't want to ever jeopardize my chances with Anna D. Oh, God, I'm just shaking with anticipation of one day being in her space. And by that, just being around her and just being within her aura. Beats here says, hello, fellow virgins. She's pointing out an issue while herself benefiting from her femininity. That's exactly it. You nailed it. Also, that stupid argument of you can't have an opinion if you're not female is ugly, well, stupid. Because if that was the case, no male psychologist would ever have female clients. True. And you wouldn't be able to talk about other stuff unless you're directly part of it, which is asinine. But there is a limit. I do think that, for example, with wrestling, for some odd reason, I've seen this push in like wrestling podcasts, and it's made by typically non-wrestlers. And it's like, well, you're a virgin because you're talking about all these issues as if you've gone through the rigors and the travel and the pain and the agony of being a wrestler while just sitting in your chair and talking shit. Yeah, I think Roman Reigns is really dropping the ball with his character. Yeah, buddy? While there's fucking Dorito stains on your fingertips. But you're right. But there is a limit, says Beats. But you nailed it. Yeah, you're right. They're benefiting from a quality that promotes them by just doing that, by just being a minority in the group. And I just don't see the issue. If you want to call yourself a magician, nobody's stopping you. Nobody's saying, hey, you can't call yourself a magician. I think it's going to be apparent if you're a female magician because people have eyeballs, unless they don't have eyeballs. My previous comment got unnoticed, and or my precious comments got unnoticed. No, I noticed it, Beats. I noticed it, and I got to say it's definitely one of the better ones just because it is based. Beats, I think you were in these comments, by the way. I think I saw you in that thread, by the way, if your username is what I think it is. I saw a nude female magician making silks appear out of a thumb tip. 10 out of 10, best magic ever. I want to see where that is. Although I think magic porn would not be attractive. Jason Heiss says virgin magician, I believe is the proper term. Again, that's gender neutral, applies to all of them. So if you want to refer to yourself, female magicians, as a virgin magician, by all means do it. Because you're the one that's putting it on your marketing. So I don't get it. So let me see any comments here. I know that there's a lot of backs and forths here, but it's just unnecessary and irrelevant. And if you're a female magician, the only thing that's stopping you from labeling yourself as a magician is yourself. Just label yourself as a magician. That's it. There's some N-word here references that unfortunately I can't say because I am on YouTube and I'm trying to sell products like my book or I know a lot about you, like why you're watching this ad. And it's specifically because you've looked up magic tricks. Well, hey there, my name's PigCake, and I've been doing magic trick tutorials on YouTube for the better part of 6 years. And I'm here to tell you about the PigCake Magic Academy with over 1,200 videos already uploaded, designed to make you an expert magician. You get access to all the content the moment you sign up, and I'm uploading every single week. As a matter of fact, I uploaded a video today. Just look at that list of moves, tricks, ideas that you're gonna get access to the moment you sign up. It doesn't end. As a matter of fact, I could stop talking completely, and the list is still gonna keep going. Just look. So check it out, the PigCake Magic Academy. The link is going to be below. I go with you, but I'm stuck in this video. But I'll wait for you to go ahead and click it. Somebody said, Corn Pop says, Anna is a mid. Jada Cole's 8. And guess what, my friend? You have deserved the pin of shame. You get the pin of shame for that, Corn Pop. I'm going to pin your message so everybody can point and laugh at you right there in the comments section saying that, well, Anna D is mid. Anna D is perfect. She's a right combination of Latina and Asian. That is just top tier. So she's not a Jada Cole's 8. She would be the one that everybody at Jada Cole's would be lusting over. You disgusting fuck. Talking about my future misses like that. You should be ashamed, Corn Pop. Let's see. Thought Reader says Steve Brooksy. Beats doesn't know which thread you're talking about. I'm talking about the one that got deleted of Sean Farquhar reposting this girl's hat, talking about a male magician saying how they're being referred to as female magicians, and we shouldn't call them female magicians, even though they're calling themselves female magicians. So that's the one. If PC puts himself in Anna D, it would be his whole body. Normally, I would give that one a pin of shame, but alas, I don't want to jump. I don't want to jump on that too soon. JFC, I looked up magic tutorials on Pornhub, and there are tutorials. I'm the innovator of that. If there are magic trick tutorials on Pornhub, I'm the innovator. But Pornhub then deleted a bunch of tremendous amateur videos, including mine, because I didn't verify my account. So I'm the one that originated that on Pornhub. I made magic videos while hardcore aggressive anal pornography was taking place on a green screen. And I lost the videos. So I don't know where the videos are. I looked at all my hard drives, and I've lost that video. I had two. I had one that was a deck review of a video reviewing a deck that had a bunch of dicks on it. And then I made another video, I believe Gianna Michaels getting completely decimated, and with a green screen mat. And of course, it got deleted, and I don't have access to them because apparently it deletes the videos on your account. I might have to look and see if I could sign in again on a Pornhub, but I think it deleted my entire account, which is just the lamest. But if I could find those videos, I'm going to repost them. If somebody's posting magic tutorials on Pornhub, I'd be so upset because I'm the innovator, all right? At least give credit where credit is due. Somebody send this, get this on a short and send it to Anna. Please don't. I'm trying to raise my chances of being with Anna. If she sees all these videos, she's going to go, oh, you're that creepy guy on YouTube? I want to be that suave guy that comes up to her at a bar. Femagicians to the rescue. Well, I would like to discuss this with a female magician. So if you want to clip this and you want to come on the PigCast and you're a magician that happens to have a vagina, I'd love to talk to you because I'm on your side, believe it or not. I was going to wear my shirt that said feminist magician on today, but instead I decided this tank top, and I'm on your side. So we'd be arguing for the same point. However, I think that if you want to stop being referred to as a female magician, stop referring to yourself as a female magician. So if you look at the websites where it says female magician, blank, 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 it's your website. So take that off your website and put magician, and then have a picture of you with fans. And people are going to go, oh, look, it's a female magician. They're just going to think it because that's how we think things. You can't just shake that mentality. So if they see a male magician, they're going to be thinking, oh, look, it's a male magician. It's just the way the brain processes information. I might have commented on that thread, probably in a dissenting manner. Yeah, I think so. But I just remember seeing that, and I don't remember how I made the connection between you here and the account that you have on Facebook. You might have mentioned that somewhere. But I just thought the whole thread was a dumb thing to do. I love Sean Farquhar, but in this case, I don't know. I disagree with the notion. And I hate that they deleted the thread because I wanted to go through it. And when I was in Orlando, I sent it to myself, and I'm like, okay, great. This is a great topic for the show. And unfortunately, it was deleted, which is not a fun thing. So I think the reasoning here, it's become a massive problem for us admins. The Facebook AI system deletes the strangest things. We've had posts deleted for cybersecurity violations. So he's trying to absolve himself from any wrongdoing here. The admin. Piggy will come up to Anna at the bar, up to her belly button. She's short, okay? I think she's a short queen herself. So I'd have a chance, buddy. You guys out here trying to drop on me saying I wouldn't have a chance. I have nothing but a chance with my future wife, Anna Rodriguez, as she's going to be called, because I'm PigCake Rodriguez, so she'd be Anna Rodriguez. You get it. I could count the number of times women have shown up on your live streams on one hand. That is true. My demo for females is about 3%, and they're usually dudes' wives that the husbands make them watch me, which is, I guess, some form of cuckoldry. But I've been involved in a swinger situation before, so I'm familiar with the territory. But in the case of that, I have very few female viewers, mostly to male dominated. It actually represents the magic community, which is kind of funny. But again, the reason, it's not anything that males tend to shun out female magicians. That's not the way it works. It's just a thing that tends to cater more towards a male demographic, of which there's nothing wrong with. Just like nursing tends to cater more towards females than males. Same thing with flight attendants. It tends to cater more towards a certain gender. There's nothing wrong with that. Sanitation, people that throw out trash, that tends to be a more male-dominated space. So then there's no issue here. It's just a thing, a pattern, and there's no point, there's no male magicians going, fuck it, let's just take these female magicians out. Nobody's thinking that. And if they are, it's a minority of a minority. But you're now extrapolating that minority, and you're going, this is representative of a whole, and that's not the case. If there's anyone that's putting you down, it's yourself. So I don't understand that long-winded post. If it's so hard to find, no, it's not. It's not fucking hard. Just look, and you'll find cohorts. Let's see. I think I would be a gay magician, which there's nothing wrong with because
This is the neighborhood, and you are not welcome.
There you go. As a Canadian, I'm only interested in American politics for the baddies. I know you like AOC, but I've just seen Tulsi Gabbard on Rogan, and she blows AOC out of the water, fam. Well, Lauren Boebert is one that was recently in the news, and I'm such a huge fan of Lauren Boebert for many reasons. However, her assets are astonishing for an older white woman. And AOC is just my type because she's like dark, and I like dark girls typically. Tulsi Gabbard is the perfect woman. If you watch me on ham radio, you would know that I think Tulsi Gabbard is perfect. She's a 10 out of 10. She has pimples. She has the little acne scars. That makes her more attractive because these little imperfections add character. They add personality, and she's fit. Her politics sometimes leave a little bit in question, but we agree on most things. I think we would have beautiful arguments, me and her. She's a veteran. Oh, God. Thank God I'm sitting down. But Tulsi Gabbard, Hungry and Hungover, is perfect. Although AOC's spicy. I like AOC. She's what Alex Stein calls a big booty Latina, and that tends to be my type, especially the dark ones that has like certain people might find her teeth unattractive, but I like that. I like all those things on AOC. Now, her politics, trash. I would have nothing but arguments with her, even though she's the type of person that would be like, oh, yeah, defund whatever, yada, 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 and then has a very extraordinary people around her. And, oh, yeah, the white man, but then she's married to a white dude. So it's like, well, look at the kettle calling the pot black. Let's see here. Male dominating is a key to vagina, by the way. Dropping some hot knowledge here. But as I was saying, I would gladly argue or debate, mansplain to a magician. See, I'm calling you guys magicians. A magician that has a vagina, that has a womb, as has been called in Congress. I'd gladly have you on and we talk back and forth. And you know what? We'd probably agree because, again, I'm on your side. So if you want to reach out to me, first of all, you could slide into my DMs. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Maybe we could have some connection. We could connect, you and I, based on that. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe extend past just the debate and maybe take it further. I go to where you are, you go to where I am, make things happen. However, I would like to argue with you if you think that I'm wrong in this live stream. So if I've said anything incorrect in this live stream, I'd like to argue with you because I'm going to treat you like an equal, not like the majority of the people on Facebook that are going to go, no, slay queen, you can't do wrong, you can't do wrong. No, I'm not going to be like that. However, if you want to talk about it, please let me know on a email or a DM or swiping right on Tinder. Say no Solimana. No. Oh, that's funny. You're trying to get me to say no Solimana. You're trying to say something close to the forbidden word. Steve Brooksy. I remember seeing a girl on a piggy stream. True story. No, my last comment was so virgin-y. You'll have to fight me for Anna at Blackpool, just so you know. That's a shame that I didn't see you at Blackpool, Beats. Unless you were incognito. Let's see this. It's the black calling the kettle pot. Fuck. That's good, Corn Pop. It's still not going to get you out of the pin of shame. But alas, you put yourself there by saying Anna D is mid. You should be ashamed of yourself. So I guess this is the last part of the stream where we talk about different things, things that you guys might have, questions. I know Corn Pop had a bit on the clip shift. I suck at it. I can't really give you any advice on the clip shift. As a matter of fact, I could mostly do it with just half the pack. Right? It's one of those masturbatory things. I suck at it. I don't see the point of it, considering there are so many better alternatives to it. I like to only use the half of it as like a production. That's it. So I only like using half of it as a production. And I only use it as like, oh, look, like I'm doing this and then I'm doing that at the same time. So I just use it as kind of like a cardistry move. So I'm kind of the worst person to give you advice on that. However, I do think that there are alternatives, and if you're just learning it to learn it, just keep doing it. I think it's going to be allowed by design. Maybe slow it down and break the actions down rather than trying to get it done quickly. I find that whenever there is a move that makes a noise, sort of the way to mitigate that is slowing it down, trying to get it smoother. You don't necessarily want to get the move where it's quick. No move is quick in Magic. Smooth, even if that means slow. So smooth is where you want to be. You don't want to be quick. Quick makes noise.
You can
Smooth.
stop at 5 or 6 stores or just one.
I said chicks with tricks.
Hey, Magic Buzz, dropping some hot ones again. Here, dropping another $13.99. Again, I do feel like that means something. That's some sort of a thing. Magic Buzz, you would have loved the conversation I had with my mother today, taking my brother's dog to the vet at 6 in the morning. Not a great early start to my day. But my mom was talking about aliens and how she had an experience with aliens. I think that would have been a very funny conversation that you would have enjoyed for sure. Considering what she was saying blew my mind. But thank you for that. Again, dropping another hot one, and I'm going to put that in the PigCake Porn Fund. As a matter of fact, I'm going to use that to potentially get chicks with...
This is the neighborhood, and you are not welcome.
It's not gay, though, right? Chicks with dicks. It's not gay. Because I'm attracted to them because they look like a woman. So, blue-pilled, maybe? Maybe you should be blue-pilled. But when it comes to moves, you don't want to do them quick because quick means noise. If you make a noise, it's typically because you're trying to rush the move. But if you slow it down, it's not going to make a noise. Same thing with a pass. A lot of people wonder, oh, why does my pass make noise? And that's because you're trying to do an aggressive move. And that friction causes a noise. Whereas if you work more on smoothness and trying to get it down smooth, even if it means slow, it's going to prevent a lot of the actual noise that you get when it comes to moves. Let's see here. Embarrassing question, but what would be a good start to get into mentalism? Don't say 13 steps. Boy, I got my start in mentalism when it came to Richard Osterland. I got his Mind Mystery series, and that kind of started the ball going. I don't think 13 Steps is good for starting off with mentalism. I think the best thing you do is, when it comes to mentalism, it's a wide array of stuff that's essentially based on the same types of tricks. I peek at something, I'm going to go through a process, I'm going to reveal it to you. That essentially is what mentalism is in a nutshell. Now, what's between that and how you do that is what varies. Am I going to have compromise? Am I going to have a paper? Am I going to do it without any visual compromise? Am I going to have a tool like a pendulum? So really, it's exploring as much as possible that is universally well-received stuff. So Peter Turner tends to be one that comes out with great stuff. I would say study his material. Bob Cassidy, his stuff is great, so I would say study him. Richard Osterland is great for the very, very beginner because his stuff tends to be very beginner friendly, especially if you look at the DVDs, like the Easy to Master Mental Miracles. Those are good, not great to copy. I wouldn't say to copy, but as a foundation, you could build on that. The way he presents them is very bare bones, and there's a bunch of stuff that we make fun of to this day in those videos, video series. But for the most part, they do have a good foundation for those that you could build on. But other than that, I wouldn't just take the trick and perform it as is. There's definitely ways to go around that. But Peter Turner, you can't go wrong. Bob Cassidy, you definitely can't go wrong. Animin, I would say, even though a lot of people think it's for beginners, I would say it's wait till you're more advanced to get into Animin stuff. But if you're very, very beginner, rudimentary, basic, boy, I don't know. I think I'd be the worst person to ask for that because mentalism is just, as you're peeking at things, you're revealing it. So you got to learn the foundations in terms of the effect not being the method, which I think is the big crutch when it comes to mentalism. A lot of people take the method and they assume that that's it. But no, mentalism is the process. So the process of I'm getting the information from you, or I'm putting the information in you, or putting something else in you if you're one of these magicians with a womb. A vagina. A magician with a vagina. What's this? Syria fucking was listening to me? But when it comes to that, I would say just try to get as much differences in styles as possible in mentalism and see which one you lean towards the most. But the main rule that I abide by when it comes to mentalism is that the method is not the effect. The process is the effect. And sometimes the method, as a matter of fact, most of the time in mentalism, the method is done way before the trick even starts. So way before that process ever begins, the method is done. And a lot of people assume that that's it. Look, you wrote something down, I'm going to tear it up, I'm going to tell you what it is. No, that's dumb. There needs to be a process there. Daniel came in because it's not raw yet, so that's why you're watching this particular live stream, Daniel. You should go to Thailand since you like ladyboys, says Corn Pop. So Corn Pop being based as fuck, trying to make up for the fact that he got the pin of shame for calling Anna D mid. Beats, Carl Fulves, Self-Working Mental Magic, and Psychological Subtleties. That's another great one. I recommend 1 and 2 is great. 3 gets a little bit iffy, but 1 and 2 are phenomenal. The Peter Turner kit, even though it is catered towards beginners, I do think that you are going to get a good foundation with that to build upon. But I wouldn't say that would be your only thing. I would say probably work on that as well. But those, I would say you could probably take as is and perform them, and you're not going to have a problem because those are tried and tested. Those are things that are just tremendous, and I saw them work, and especially work with a magician that's English speaking or performing for non-English magicians or some non-English speakers here in Miami, which is crazy. But I do think that kit is great. The first kit, phenomenal. The props you get are really, I was surprised that you got the switch wallet, you got the add a number pad, the UV pen was kind of nuts. Obviously the fork is just a regular soft fork, but it's a regular one. It has a nail writer, so cohorts deck. That kit was very comprehensive in terms of props that you would need. The Peak wallet is still one that I have down here. It's tremendous, and it functions as a switch wallet too. So I would say if you're looking for props, if you're looking for a good foundation, get as much as possible and see what sticks. But that is a good recommendation in the box. I'm not just saying that. They did fire me. Remember that. Illusionists did fire me. So I'm always looking for opportunities to shit talk them. But I can't because they've been great for the most part. Let's see here. Xavier also says, depends on the mentalism, like Propolis with props, what props you want to focus on, magic squares, cards, billets, fuck. This is really getting aggressively virgin-y. Calculated Thoughts by Doug D. Somebody mentioned some, Hungry and Hungover said Bob Cassidy's Penguin Live is, it's tremendous. That one is a great study because he does perform fourth dimensional telepathy, which is a whole act in and of itself, and name and place. And he was demolished, which I blew my mind when Peter Turner told me that he was just hammered, just drinking rum in a cup. I thought that he was just there drinking. No, he's just hammered in that, and he killed it. So that's a tremendous one if you're going to look into mentalism. Have you ever told a story? Yeah, I got fired because people bitched and moaned because they made a letter writing campaign saying that I'm racist and sexist and a whole bunch of other ist words. And even though there's like 5 of them, they wrote like 60 emails. And it just wasn't worth it for them. It wasn't worth it. So I was charging them more than I was bringing in. So they're like, yeah, with the emails, I mean, we like what you're making. And it would be good to continue, but unfortunately we are a company. So I'm like, oh, yeah, I get it. Unfortunately, sucks. But because it was good money. Fuck, I was getting paid like good money for not a lot of work, to be honest. But I get it. Let's see. Will I be performing? So is the kit still be of use? Yeah, the kit, I mean, what they show you in the kit is a lot of rudimentary basic stuff. Some switches, some billet action. Peter Turner has this behind the back one that's great. He shows you the wallet, how to peek at the wallet. Mark card stuff. So it's really good in terms of foundational work, and you could take it as is and perform it. Not a lot of stuff is language based. There's a lot of tidbits, and the problem with Peter is that he's very what do you call this, generous, too generous. So the video, he goes off on tangents and he starts talking about other shit, and you go, yeah, that's a great idea, that's a great idea, that's a great idea, and you're just absorbing all this shit. And I remember watching it, and I was just like, oh, fuck this guy for being so good. Would you consider Bank Night as mentalism or a display of luck? See, that's the problem, right? Because let's say you take it as is from Richard Osterland's kit. So he has that trick. And I remember very cringily, I had a talent show that I'd never performed, but I wrote the entire thing. I scripted it. And the opener was Bank Night. And I had it, set to perform the exact same way that Richard Osterland had it, which is you have 5 envelopes. One of them has $100 bill. They name envelopes and it's empty. It's empty. It has business cards in them. And then the last one has the $100 bill in it. And you give them a lottery ticket as a consolation prize. And I had that, and it was kind of cringy. But in terms of the way he presents it as a coincidence almost, or as a he doesn't directly say, I'm going to influence you. From my memory, he could potentially say, I'm going to influence you, or you're playing a game. He doesn't present it as a bit of influence. I think he presents it as a game. But the effect has to be very clear. And you can't just take a $100 bill out of an envelope and expect that to be the effect. So I think you have to make it clear as to what you're doing. You're influencing them to pick the wrong one. Or you hoping that there's a luck? Are you talking about luck in your show? Are you talking about sometimes we just have to submit to luck? Are you making them do it? You have to really think about how you're presenting that. At least I think in terms of that. So if it's a display of luck or mentalism, it's up to how you want to present it. But again, the effect is not the method. And a lot of people think that, I'm taking a thumb tip, I'm putting it in an envelope, I'm pulling it out. That should be it. No, think about what you're presenting to the audience. Biggest advice for mentalists: do not drop a bag on a peak wallet. Learn billet peaks. Wallet is the worst to justify. Some people would disagree with that and just say no, just do it and you'll be fine. Whoops, that's my passport. I thought I had the wallet there. But yeah, you're right. I tend to agree on the side of avoiding props in mentalism. But that's why that kit is great, because the kit has a thumb writer, has a switch wallet, it has the add a number pad, it has the UV pen that you could do some shit with. It has the ESP cards are kind of trash, but it does give you a good beginner's take on ESP cards. It has the mark cards, it has a metal bending. I forgot what else it has, but it has a lot of stuff that you would need as a mentalist. And mentalism is very few props typically. But if you are going to have a peak wallet, I think the emphasis shouldn't be put on the wallet. And I think a lot of magicians do that, where they'll go, all right, so write something down. I'm going to put it here, and do me a favor and put your hand on the wallet and hold it. That's gay. That's gay. Because now the emphasis is on this. Whereas you want to make the billet invisible. You want to have the billet be something that they forget. So how are they going to forget it if you've had them do this weird thing that they've never done before? So if you're going to use a wallet, you take the business cards out of the wallet. You go, do me a favor, just write this down. Not that I don't trust you, which is a great line from Doc Hilford. But some people tend to change their, answers or whatever. And I just want to make sure that later on, I could say, oh, look, here it is, right? So write that down. I don't want to see it, but I'm going to close it up there and I'll put it in my pocket so nobody sees it. And that's it. That's the use of the wallet. You don't want to have them hold it. You don't want to have them think of the wallet. You just want to, you were thinking of a word, right? Just think of this word. You haven't told anybody. You haven't said anything to anyone, which is all true. They did write it down. But by the end of the trick, you want them to forget it. So when it comes to wallets, make sure that you remove the business cards from the wallet. There's a reason why the wallet exists, because that's where the cards came from. They could see that there are other cards in the wallet. It's not just a special magic wallet with gold tips on it. You don't want that. You want a wallet that looks like a regular wallet. And let me put the card back where the other cards are. That's where it makes sense. I've seen magicians where look, so I have a business card here, and I'll tell you what, we'll put it inside of my wallet. No, take the fucking cards out of the wallet, my dude. And then don't do this shit. I've seen this done in every wallet trailer, every single thing, and it's not a thing that you want to do. You want to avoid it. You want to get your peak. You want to put the wallet away. You want to make them forget. And the only thing that the paper is there for is to verify that they can't change their mind. That's, I think, one of the best ways to do it. But if you are going to get a wallet, that's just my advice. Just, you don't have to abide by that. It's not the word of the law, but I think that's the best way to perform it. But John Archer's Blank Knight is perfect. Yeah, that one I think is the one that he fooled Penn and Teller with. Immaculate. And the presentation is perfect. John Archer is another great one to study. I think his works, especially in his old one, I forgot what that DVD set was from forever ago that he came out with, where it has his, he has this just amazing take on Colossal Killer, and it's just a funny routine. There's a lot of banter, there's a lot of byplay, and he's just fucking an expert at that. But his style is comedy mentalism, which might not be for everyone. Joshua J's Magic the Complete Course is a good beginner mentalism. I agree. Beginner books tend to have a lot of good stuff. Magic for Dummies has a good series on mentalism stuff. Same thing with Street Magic for Dummies. Joshua J's book has a good one. My first take on mentalism was the Mark Wilson book. I had the Mark Wilson book. I learned the shitty center tear that he had, the one ahead that he had. But Max Maven is another one. But to be fair, I do think that Max Maven kind of phoned it in on some projects. So the Video Mind one, I think he phoned it in for that one. But Multiplicity, which is his work on Equivoke, amazing. Nothing, I think people shout on that one, but I like that one just because there were a lot of good ideas that I managed to get from that particular thought process. But Multiplicity it's a must-have if you're into Equivoke and forcing things. He has some touches there that are amazing. Mark Paul, as Hungry and Hungover said, he has I think one called Mind to Mind, which is an old VHS tape, or it might be a DVD too, that he has a lot of stuff. He has a trick that I was actually looking at not so long ago, that he has some cards that one of them says, think of a color, think of a place, think of a letter, think of a number, and they shuffle them, and he's able to tell them not only which card belongs to which person, but he tells them, you're thinking of the letter Z, you're thinking of Paris, you're thinking of the letter P, or you're thinking of the number 40. And it's so easy to do, and it's just wonderful. But he has a lot of good stuff. His Penguin Magic's Live is a must-have. But if you find that one called Mind to Mind, I think that one is another one that's great in terms of mentalism. I've dropped a bag on the Viper. It looks amazing, but I still use Billet Peaks. Viper's my everyday wallet. I'm not familiar with Viper, but most wallets looks friggin' outdated. I agree. It is lame that magicians tend to not live in the real world, and their wallets are like, oh, here's my wallet, and it's this gold-tipped massive wallet that's from the Barbell's days when he was in blackface, according to Harrison Greenbaum. But you want to avoid those, obviously. You want to have, I don't know if the one that D. Christopher came out with is good, because that's like kind of a slim line and it looks normal. It looks like one of those wallet holders that have gone popular. The one from the How to Read Minds kit is not too bad, but it does look like a receipt book. So it is like this, like it's like this sort of shape, and it looks like where you get your receipt, which isn't really normal, but I've used it for a while. But Mark Paul is great. How to justify old wallets. I guess the price will give you your residence in the style of a 1970s real estate agent. That's fucking great. Any tips for mentalism apps? Yeah, no, not a fan. I gotta tell you, I'm not a fan of overt apps. Covert apps, I'm a fan of. Just like I'm not a fan of overt props. So if you're gonna take something out of your pocket, that's gay. But if you have like a thumb tip, nobody sees it. Nobody knows it exists. A thumb writer, nobody knows it exists. Those are good props to have on you, even taken to social situations. Are you going to take your sponge balls to a social situation? No, because then we're going to fight. But like an app that doesn't look like an app. So it exists outside of the app space. Unfortunately, I do think that a lot of spectators will go to that. They'll think, oh, it's an app immediately if you do something with technology. Now, it's not to say that you can't get away with something like Inject. Inject is great because you could borrow a phone, you go on a website that you need, or you could hit it with an NFC tag, and then you could get a peek as to whatever they search up very easily. Now, the mistake that I see a lot of people make with Inject is the same thing with the wallet. That they'll go, all right, so think of the thing. I want you to make a Google search. All right, look it up. Great. Now, hold the phone in your hand. Why? Have them make the search, tell them to look at the person, look at the image, click on the images, look at it, try to get the person's image in your mind, think of their hair color, think of how they look, think of their gender, think of maybe any movies they've been in, think of what they've done. Have they been in anything recently? Think about that. Now, great, put your phone away. We don't need it. And now that's where the effect begins, because I'm trying to pick up what you're thinking of. And if you just think of, for example, I don't know, what's the name? Chris Pratt. Right? Well, you might have an image in your head, but it might not be accurate. So what I want you to do is go on your phone, look up Chris Pratt, and I want you to burn his image in your head. Actually look at him and take the time to look at his face. Look at his features. Great. Now the phone has a reason. The reason is, well, how else are you going to search up Chris Pratt? You're not going to look up a fucking encyclopedia. You're not going to get a book. You pull out your phone. It makes sense. But if I have them hold the phone, well, guess what? Now the emphasis is on the fucking phone. So it's kind of a dumb thing, I think, when you do it that way. But Inject is good if it's used not like a phone app. And I think a lot of the tutorials are geared towards using it with the phone as emphasis on the phone. But that's just the wrong way to do it. Digital Force Bag is good. I had it. I think Xavier had a great idea with it, Xavier Spade, where he said that so they would name a number, and the list would be, you'd have a note that had a list of things that you would do. So 1 would be like stab you in the eyeballs. 2 would be chop you up or stuff. And then whatever one it was show you a card trick. Right? So that would be the only one that wasn't a violent act, which I thought was a funny way to go around it. But it's still, I have a note with a list on my phone. Like, nah, that to me, I think is a little bit too far-fetched. Now, it does work. A lot of magicians swear by it. But just to me, I would never be able to go, so I have a list of movies. And I do have lists of movies on my phone. But it just seems a little bit too sanitary for me. And I think the way magicians use it is a little bit too obvious. Because if I, for example, have a prediction and I had you look this thing up and the only connection is that it's a note on my phone, well, people are going to make 2 and 2 together. And they're going to go, it's just an app or whatever. So if you find a good way to use it and use it more as a tool, then I think that's where it becomes something powerful. But if you immediately go into a prediction and go, oh, look, here, I knew what you were going to say ahead of time. I knew that this would be the same number that you would name. No. Not a fan of that. What about Enigma? That's the other one. Enigma is a covert app. It's not an overt thing. It's something that's hidden. It's just a use of your phone. You're pulling it out to either look something up or be clear with a certain thing for the method of that. But it's a covert thing. It's not an overt thing. It's not, oh, here's a deck of playing cards on my other one. One that I don't like, even though I do think that there's a lot of good ideas with it, is that the time app one. I think it's Cognito. I'm not sure. But it's like the one where you stop at the second hand or the millisecond and you use that to make up a random number. I think it could be used in a good way. But if you're going to use it for like an ACAN or use it for like a card trick, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. I get a lot of use from the Shelby wallet. Now, that one, I tried to look it up, and there wasn't any information on that after Blackpool. What is the Shelby wallet? If you could explain what it is. But I remember trying to look up a lot of info because people were hyped about it in Blackpool. I've done Digital Force Bag every time I performed it since I got it like 6 months ago. It fools everybody. Can't recommend it enough. There you go. So, I mean, you have a good, I don't want to say anecdote, but me personally, I'm not a huge fan of it in the sense of you using it as just, here's the thing, here's the number, here's the thing, think about it. I'm not a fan of that. But I think a lot of people have probably some good ideas on a Facebook group. A well-performed Senator or Peak Wallet will give you the same effect. I think you're talking about Enigma. That is true. But at the end of the day, I think what Enigma presents is a novel method. And magicians, there's a market for that. Steve Brooksy, in general, I'm in favor of learning the basics before anything else. Just Enigma looks really great, but thanks for the hint. You can force two things. I force a movie and a travel destination, and I have a movie poster with the location written in the back of an envelope from the very beginning. I close with it after a set with Mental Die and ESP. All three are solid. I reached out to Mark Mason. Every time I see Mark Mason, he's always just pitching, this is the best trick you're going to say in the convention. And he's like fucking showing you blink, which is just great. But what was I going to tell you in regards to but the Shelby wallet is a Peak wallet, it's a Carta wallet. What is it exactly? Because there was a lot of hype of me trying to look up information. They deleted the post on the Magic Cafe about it annoyingly, so I couldn't read it. The jerks had an effect where you write down a number and then the spectator guesses it as X. They get it wrong, but then you show that the number they named was your favorite X number. See, I think that's a better way of approaching it. With as far as that, maybe you have them write down the number and you try to guess it, and maybe that number is the one that's on your phone that corresponds to the note. I think that might be a better way to approach it, rather than just this super clean name a number. All right, here I have a list. The lamest one is, I have a list of playing cards on my phone. Oh, by popularity? No. Okay. Nobody's going to fucking believe that. So if you're using that to force a playing card, that's idiotic. I think I've seen Jabrizi do that. Let's see. Steve Brooksy says the jerks had... Okay, I read that one. The Jinx had this fucking... So in this new book, I have this trick that I was thinking. And it needs a shuffle. So it needs the participant to shuffle the deck. And I was thinking of a whole bunch of methods, and I wrote this one down. The new book. So this is, I'm thinking way ahead. But this one in particular, it needs a way of having the participants shuffle a deck, and it's an Uno trick. But one of the things was I had a hard time thinking it, and then I already knew the method. This the John Kerry shuffled OC bit, where he does the OC cut. And then I was looking up the jerks, and the jerks has this tremendous way of doing the OC cut where the participants regroup the cards themselves. So they go through the motions, they pick up whichever half they want, and from there, you essentially guide them, but you keep the deck in the position that you want it to be. And I think that's a great combination with the shuffle OC from John Kerry. So that ended up being the solution, and I think it's a great trick. That is going to be for the next book, which I was looking through the live stream for the title. Somebody gave me The Art of the Squeal, which is my next book, which I've already finished. I'm just going to go proofread it, make sure it's good. But I'm trying to figure out a name for the next book, and I think I have to go through the list and actually write them down. I know that I had a couple here that people mentioned that I actually wrote down. Let me see what they were. Portland, that's funny. But let me go through this. I know that I wrote down a bunch here, and I don't know where. See, this is the retardation. Because I'm Arabic, I tend to start my notebooks from the wrong side. So I always have to look. This is the only notebook that I've started from the right side, as it should be in the Western world. But I don't know where the fuck. I know that I wrote down a bunch. Did I erase it like an absolute troglodyte? I really hope I didn't erase it. Okay, no. The Art of the Virgin. So that turned into The Art of the Squeal. 13 Steps to Virginity. Escort at the Card Table. I think those are all good, but I feel like it's a little bit off-brand. Hams and Fantasies is probably it. Hams and Fantasies. Fuck it. Fuck it. That's it. Shit. No, I need to put more effort. But Hams and Fantasies is amazing. Escort at the Card Table, as I read here, is great, but it's not brand specific. And this one, it's called, it's Art of the Squeal. The last one, The View from Down Here, right? Makes sense, I'm short. Hams and Fantasies is tremendous. And I could replicate that picture from the cover of Hams and Fantasies, or sorry, Scams and Fantasies with Darwin Ortiz. From Here to Pigternity. Who wrote that? From Here to Pigternity. What's that based off of? I don't think I read that one. Beats says, discussed my jinx theory. All right, so the jinx theory here says, Andy seems to be a genius, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was going to animate himself one day. Maybe. I don't know. I don't get the vibes from that, but I do think that his ideas are pretty good, and his takes are usually very based. It's a Peak wallet, but it's super slim and actually looks like a fucking wallet. Super quick to get the Peak as well. I love it. Shit, so I might have to look that up. Fart of Astonishment. See, that would be funny, but it's not Pig related. It's got to be on brand, right? And Allahu Akbar does not work because of my real name. But as far as that, Hams and Fantasies might be it. Apocalypse. See, that's hard to say. I think, that's great. Secrets of the Cuban Gambler. So I guess that's Secrets of the Puerto Rican Gambler, Daryl's book. Did you say my name? Did I say Daniel? Fuck. But hold up. I just read something here. Apocalypse. That would be good, but Apocalypse. There's too many. It's a harsh sounding thing. Whereas Hams and Fantasies, that might be it, honestly. That's number one. But Secrets of the Cuban Gambler, that's all right. A little bit too specific. Let's see. Escort. I love Escort. Pigternity is all right. A Piece of PigCake? What's that based off of? Piece of PigCake. Notice how I have you guys do the hard work for me of coming up with great puns here. 50 Shades of PigCake, that's a little bit too on the nose. You've got to be a little bit more clever. Because at that point, I could put 50 Shades of anything. By Porks Unseen. By Porks is Unseen. Shit. By Porks is Unseen. It doesn't just have to be magic books, by the way. This new one it's based off The Art of the Deal by this guy right here, who's gonna pop up. Let me see if he actually pops up. Don't get triggered, by the way. So it's based on The Art of the Deal, which I thought is great, and I AI'd myself into the cover, and it looks great. I'm super happy with that book, and I copied the same font. It looks exactly like The Art of the Deal, but it's The Art of the Squeal. Very generous, by the way, with the amount of shit I put in that book. A little bit too generous. I might regret it, but we'll see with that. But so far, I think Hams and Fantasies is definitely hot. And then I could divide it Hams and then Fantasies, I guess. But that was Scams was the gambling portion and Fantasies was the magic portion. So for me, it might just all be Hams and Fantasies. Moby Dick? Nah, Pig a Dick. That's a little bit aggressive, I gotta say. I wouldn't necessarily see. You notice that I'm not writing that one down, Manel. Practical Pig Magic. That's great. Practical Just because it's retarded. Pig magic. I'll never use that, but I just like the way that sounds. To fuck a pig. To fuck a pig. That's really what I'm getting suggested here. Porks is unseen. It's clever. To fuck a pig. To catch a pig. To catch a pig. That might work. Instead of to catch a predator. To catch a pig. But it doesn't have to be magic related. So I like the art of the squeal because it works perfectly. The Diary of Ham Frank is, I would say, immaculate. But I would probably offend all the Jews, and I don't want to do that. Diary of Ham Frank. Fuck, that would be great. Don't like it. Fuck you then. Diary of Ham Frank. Hunger and Horror. Yeah, that's amazing. But I'd be upsetting all the Harrison Green bombs. I'd be dropping a bomb on the green bombs. To Kill a Mockingbird. I'm trying to think of the cover. I liked particularly the cover for Art of the Squeal. So I'm trying to think of To Kill a Mockingbird. How would that work? War and PigCake. Fuck. Mein Kampf. Based on what I've been called in the DMs, I would say Mein Kampf is probably accurate. Let me write Mein Kampf. I'm not going to use it, but Mein Kampf is pretty immaculate. But so far, if I were to rate them, what I've got here so far that I've written down, Hams and Fantasies is probably going to be it. But from here to Pigternity, I like the way that sounds. It's kind of a good, reminds me of Cellar Door, right? It's a good sounding. What time is it? Man, we've gone way too long here. Piece of Pig Cake. I think that's a little bit too on par there. Same thing with Practical Pig Magic. Practical Pig Magic, I like it, but it's too on the nose. You get it? On the... That took a while. To Catch a Pig, I think I like that just because To Catch a Predator. I could play on that one. Fuck. Pigs are from Mars and magicians are from Venus. I'm going to write that one down. That was also really good. Even though I remember that shit. Look at this Svengali. This project that I never continued working on. Pigs are from Mars and magicians are from Venus. Pigs are from Mars and magicians, God, my handwriting is AIDS, are from Venus. I know this isn't necessarily riveting content, but I mean, I guess it could be great because this is a future book in the PigCake of Pig and Cake. That's great. Of Pig and Cake. Fuck. But those are all good. But Hams and Fantasies, man. Fuck. That, I think, definitely is going to be the one that's going to get it. But I think this is a good stream. We've gone for almost 2 hours. We talked about a lot of magic stuff, even though it's kind of a hybrid one. I promised that I was going to go. I remember last week I was like, oh, I'm going to do another stream tomorrow. And then I didn't because I went to Orlando. But if you have other title ideas, leave it in the comment section of this video. So leave it in the comment section, not in the chat, but in the comment section. So that way I could look at it. If I search book title, for example, on YouTube, if I go book title on my YouTube dashboard, this will come up. So if you're going to leave one in the comment section. The Hamshank Redemption. Fuck. And Little Pigger. No, I think Little Pigger might annoy people, especially considering its proximity to the dastard word. The Hamshank Redemption. Hamshank Redemption. Rip in peace. Rip in peace. But apart from that, thank you guys for joining this live stream. Thank you guys for being around, for such good suggestions, some advice that I like to give at the end of the live streams. Edgy, not really edgy. You guys are doing fake edgy. You guys are doing edgy, but you get offended. That's not the way it works. If you are claiming to be an edgy magician and on the fringe of magic, making fun of Chris Angel, yeah, real tough there. That's not really edgy. Edgy is making AIDS jokes. Edgy is making black jokes. Edgy is making Muslim jokes and Jew jokes and making jokes about everyone equally. That's edgy, not milk toast jokes about Tarbell from 1924 saying, oh, he was in blackface, so I'm going to pound on him. Wow, really showing it to him. I wonder what he has to say about that. So if you're going to be edgy, be edgy. Be legitimately edgy. Unfortunately, I can't be as edgy as I want to be because YouTube has a thing, and if I say certain words that I like saying, might, end up costing me a career, which is unfortunate. However, when it comes to stuff, come on, don't be claiming to be edgy and then have subpar edgy content. That's one. Number two, magic. I guess the whole things we talked about today, if you're going to take something, take away this, that the effect is not the method. The effect is the process that you have that they see. So don't delude yourself in thinking that if you have somebody write a name down and you tear up a piece of paper that they wrote the name on and you tell them what it is, that they're going to be astonished. They're going to go, oh, you just saw that. Same thing with the phone. If you have them look at the phone, they're going to go, oh, it's the phone that told you. So think about things before you actually perform them. And I think it's going to improve your stuff. Also, what else did I talk about? Clean your room. Clean your room. Please clean your room. It's where you live. It's where you sleep. So your room is a reflection of yourself. If your room is full of plates with caked on bits of shit, then you, my friend, are caked up bits of shit. But apart from that, thank you guys for watching. I don't have an outro. Yet. Nobody's told me a good outro to these. I like to say Nancy Pelosi is doing insider trading, but they're apparently passing laws to prevent politicians from trading stocks, which a little bit too little too late, especially considering most of them have a yearly salary of $180,000 to $220,000, and yet their net worth is in the dozens of millions. A little bit odd there. But how should I end this? I don't have a phrase. I don't have a... rock on and keep your magic strong.